So if you're curious about what's going on in the Gainesville real estate market right now, you're definitely in the right spot. I'm going to share with you what I'm seeing in the market, what I expect to see the rest of the year, and stay around till the very end because I'm going to share with you a few tips if you're planning to buy a home this year. Hey guys, Donovan here. If you're new to the channel, I'm a local real estate agent here in Gainesville, Florida. I put out these videos to share with you exactly what you can expect if you're moving to the area. We talk about things like the best places to live, all the things to do, the best schools. So if you don't want to miss a thing, make sure you start by clicking the subscribe button and also click the little bell so you get notified anytime I put out a new video. So the good news with the market right now is we have been seeing interest rates on the decline. Right now they're getting closer to 5%, which is great news. Obviously the days of 2 and 3% are long gone, but hopefully those peaks closer to 8% are also not going to be coming back. A lot of the experts do expect rates to kind of stabilize in that 5 to 6% range this year. So the bad news is there is still very low inventory. Now Gainesville is typically going to be a seasonal market, so we will see the majority of homes hit the market as we get closer to March. Then we're in full swing by April. But right now and through the holidays, very few homes are coming on the market, and that again is impacting prices. So on that inventory level, right now we're at just under 2 months of inventory. What that means is if not another home came on the market, we would be completely sold out with no available homes within 2 months' time. So yes, we still are in a seller's market, but again, the good news is sellers are starting to negotiate a bit. Actually, in December, the list price to sales price ratio fell to 95.7%, which is the lowest amount we've seen in about 4 or 5 years. So we are seeing sellers start to come down on their price a little bit, or even provide some assistance to buyers, whether that be through buyers' closing costs, making repairs. But we are starting to now finally see sellers negotiate a little bit more than in years past. Now, even though some sellers are willing to negotiate, you want to keep in mind that for those perfect properties with a great location, it's priced reasonably to begin with, and it's move-in ready, we are still seeing competition for those properties. Even in the last week, we submitted an offer on a property and it had 6 other offers. So again, if you're looking especially in that say $200,000 to $500,000 price range, if it checks all the boxes for you, you probably should still expect some buyer competition. But again, the good news is the bids aren't going insanely over the asking price. Right now, what we're actually seeing is a lot of offers in line with the asking price, maybe $5,000-ish over, but nothing crazy like we were seeing a few months, about a year ago. Now, the other shift we're seeing in the market is going to be the number of days on the market. Just in December, we saw that days to contract number go up to 30 days. Now, just a few months ago in the peak, around June, July, we were seeing homes go under contract within a week. So we are starting to see homes sit a little bit longer, which is a good sign and playing into some of the sellers willing to negotiate and come down on price. But also keep in mind that does play on what I initially said, in that Gainesville is a seasonal area. There are also just fewer buyers looking in the market over the holiday time. So we would expect those December numbers to get stretched out a little bit and homes to sit longer. As we get back into our primary market, that March through August, I would expect homes to sit fewer days on the market and sell a little bit quicker. Now, real quick, I did want to mention, recently I've had a ton of people reaching out to me with questions about relocating to Gainesville, and I absolutely love helping. So if you have any questions or you're thinking about moving to the area, definitely don't hesitate. Give me a call, shoot me a text, or send me an email. Let me know what questions you have and how I can best help. So what I'm actually seeing in the market right now is a lot of buyers who decided to rent last year when things got really crazy and we were seeing 10 to 15 offers on a property and they were selling for $20,000 to $50,000 over the asking price. What that did was pushed a lot of buyers out of the market where they decided to lease and just rent for a year. Well, now we're coming back about 6 months later and they're starting to dip their toe in the water and they want to see how things look. The difference with the buyers this year compared to last year is what I'm seeing is they're far more patient. They don't mind waiting. They're not going to overspend on a house, and they're not rushing into things. So I'm curious, if you're watching this right now and you're one of those buyers who decided to rent, would you be open to extending your lease and renting for another year? Or are you dead set and committed to buy this year? Down in the comments, let me know. Would you be open to leasing for another year? So I've mentioned it in many other videos. It always is going to come back to supply and demand. Now, Gainesville being a university town with an amazing hospital, there is going to be a consistent amount of demand. There's just a good amount of turnover in town locally, and the hospital and the university is constantly bringing in new people. So that's going to contribute to just a general baseline amount of demand. What we're seeing the challenges is actually on the supply side. There are still just so few homes on the market. You have more demand than supply. And so even though the market is slowing down a little bit, we are still seeing competition. Now, as things pick up and we get closer to those summer months, we will also see more homes come on the market. The only challenge with that is we will also see more buyers coming to the market. So just keep that in mind as you begin looking and as you begin thinking about moving to the area. Actually, when I looked at the available homes on the market just this morning, there were 432 single-family homes available in Alachua County. Now, just within Gainesville itself, there were only 242 available single-family homes on the market. And that's just not enough to meet the demand that we have coming to town. Now for my suggestions, if you're planning to buy a home this year, I would say start looking early. Get familiar with the neighborhoods and the parts of town that you really like. You want to focus on your non-negotiables. What does the house have to have for you to be interested, and what location does it need to be in? Make sure you zero in on those necessities and then start going from there. Because there are still some homes receiving multiple offers and going relatively quickly, you want to do your research on the front end. The more homes and neighborhoods you can go visit now, the easier it is going to be to identify that perfect home when it does hit the market. That way you're not feeling rushed and questioning your decision. You're already familiar with the area and you're ready to move forward. The other thing you'll want to do is definitely make sure your finances are in order. If you're planning on getting a mortgage, go ahead, start interviewing different banks and lenders. Find someone that you're comfortable with and also someone that's quick to respond to your questions. The last thing you want is a lender that's slow to respond, maybe over a weekend when you're ready to submit an offer, yet you have a couple more questions. So go ahead now, do the research, find someone you like, make sure the finances are in order, and you're ready to go when the time comes. Next, what you want to do is go ahead and watch this video where I drive you around town and share with you some of the most popular neighborhoods in Gainesville and what makes them so appealing.